In this video, I'm going to share 3 different free online calculators for zodiacal releasing. I'll share zodicalreleasing.net, astroseek.com, and astro.com. Those 3 different websites for using zodiacal releasing calculators. The first one is the most straightforward and easy to look at. It's the zodicalreleasing.net. Their calculator, you put in your birth information, really straightforward. Underneath your date of birth here, if you're using your computer, you choose what you'd like to release from. Most commonly, it's Spirit and Fortune. I also use Eros, so you can pick that here from the drop-down menu. Just look for the thing in the parentheses that you want to look at. And then below, it's going to give you a list of the L1 through L4 periods, and even let you know if it's a peak period or a cool down period and such, so that can be useful. And then also below that, those are all of your periods laid out from L1 to L4. Really just, again, easy to read, shows you the culmination periods, the completion periods, the loosing of the bond. And if you're not sure what those are, you need a reminder, you can scroll down and it will give you information on that. So really straightforward calculator. I use that often in conjunction with astroseek.com, and I'll show you why sometimes I use both. So if you go to astroseek.com and you typed in just the zodiacal releasing calculator, it's not going to give you your birth chart. It's just going to give you this drop-down list view. I like to have the combination with my birth chart and the drop-down list view. So instead of getting it through just going into zodiacal releasing calculator, I actually go into my birth chart. So I will pull up my traditional birth chart because sometimes I want to refer back to my chart itself to kind of get a sense of what's happening, and not even just my chart, but especially when you're working with client charts and you don't remember off the top of your head where every single planet is in their chart. It's really nice to be able to toggle back and forth with that. So you're just scrolling down underneath your wheel. So here you were at astroseek.com, pulled up your traditional astrology chart, and then just below that, we've got zodiacal releasing, and there's some default links to Fortune, Spirit, and Eros, but you can do anything. So we'll just click on that. And the view is different here. So it can be a little bit harder to look at because you do have to, it's not pulling up like in the zodicalreleasing.net. It's just bringing up now. So that's all we're having a look at, where this is basically you for like 100-year period and such. So you do have to scroll through and figure out what really what today's date is, or what date range you're looking at. When you find it though, you do start out with the L1 period up here up top. You do get the L2 period, but then if you want to see L3 and L4, you have to click on that. So just hover over it and then click on it, and then it'll drop down and it'll show you that period. So we've got the L1 here, we've got the L2 here, and we clicked on it. We got the drop down for L3. And if we want to see the L4, then we go ahead and click on it one more time. The reason why I like this is I can also look at transits. So I mentioned sometimes wanting to toggle back and forth and take a peek at your chart or maybe a client's chart to see where planets are. But I use it, and some people use it this way. Some people use zodiacal releasing completely standalone, but sometimes, people like to see what transits are also happening at that same time during that period, just to get some extra information. So if you click on this TR, then it brings up the transits on that date. So that's just an extra feature with the zodiacal releasing calculator that you can get when you do astroseek.com. And then the final one to take a peek at here at astro.com. This is assuming that you're already in, so I'm not going to type and show you how to sign up and get into the database, but you're going into the chart calculations, extended chart selection, and then chart drawing style. Scroll down here, you probably have Hellenistic. You don't necessarily have to get zodiacal releasing, but I like to look at the Hellenistic chart. But if you scroll down a little bit more under display and calculation options, you've got with zodiacal release. So you click on that. So that's when you're going to get it in astro.com. Hit show the chart, and it's going to look really similar to zodicalreleasing.net. So that's probably the best of both worlds if you're wanting to see the chart and those periods on the exact same page, as opposed to astroseek.com, where you have to click back and forth. The thing that I like about astroseek.com, like I mentioned, is I can click on transits, but you can click on transits up here too. So those are just a couple different options. Whatever your favorite calculator is, you can do astro.com, just click on with zodiacal release. If you want to just have something really simple, you don't care about somebody else's chart, you just want to know what kind of period it's going to be for you, zodiacalreleasing.net is a really nice one. Honestly, I use that one just sometimes like on my phone or on a tablet if I'm making some plans or just wanting to know like what kind of period that's going to be. I don't necessarily care about transits or anything. I'm familiar enough with my own zodiacal releasing to know which are better periods and which aren't. So this one's a really nice and easy one to look at. So hopefully that's enough to get you started to use zodiacalreleasing.net, astroseek.com, or astro.com to do your zodiacal releasing.